I need to smile less. It's not funny.
Again with deadpan, look at me.
Hi, my name is Lucy and I love climbing.
Go on, Lucy, all the way to the top.
When I wasn't climbing in a gym, I'd be outside on rock. Sea cliffs, sport, trad and alpine. Being outside in the mountains is the best feeling in the world.
This is loving life. That goldfish.
But a few months ago, I tore my ACL and meniscus falling off a boulder, which is something I've done literally hundreds of times over the years. And I've been out of climbing ever since. Except this time it was pretty bad. It's taken me weeks to regain full range of motion, to be able to walk without pain and to gain my independence back. So at the time of this recording, I have already undergone reconstructive surgery to repair my ACL and meniscus. And this process is going to take months to recover from.
There'll be a little cut on the outside for the tenodesis and a small cut on the inside where we pinch the hamstring tendon.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Bye. I'll see you later.
See you soon. Guess who's returned?
So before the operation, I wanted to make the most of the 3 outdoor sports I could still safely do without pain. But the challenge was to link them all up in one single day. The journey would begin with a short swim across Grasmere. Swimming would then be exchanged for kayaking, following the River Rothy, a Grade 2+ river trip to Waterhead in Ambleside. The final leg would be an 18-mile cycle from Ambleside to Kendal. Logistically challenging and involving more movement than I'd done in over 2 months, I had no idea if this was going to be possible.
When Lucy pitched the idea of doing a swim, a paddle and a cycle, it seemed like a great idea in our heads, but it isn't half kit intensive. The car is stacked floor to ceiling and the roof is filled up all the way up with various bits of equipment. We've got our work cut out for us. We're going to be dropping bikes off at the end of Ambleside. We're going to be dropping the boats off in a lay-by with the car, obviously, and then we're going to make our way with paddleboard and wetsuits and everything else to the top of Grasmere to start this mini triathlon. It's almost midday now and we've just been faffing with kit continuously for the past 3 hours.
Driving past Grasmere, which I naively thought would take me 20 minutes to swim. We just drove past the lake and it's actually quite long. So maybe it will take me slightly longer than 20 minutes, but we'll see. Right, we've arrived at Grasmere, my first ever long distance swim in my whole life. And the plan is that we'll carry the paddleboard and I will go and wait at the top of Grasmere. Rob drops the car off in some random lay-by at the end of Grasmere and then jogs back to me whilst I'm having a snack. And then the triathlon can begin.
Lucy setting off on her expedition.
Okay, it turns out you cannot enter from that cafe that I went to without paying them a tenner. So they pointed me in the direction of a different get-in spot. I'm now wandering around in a wetsuit with a giant bag on my back, getting some strange looks from people. That was such a mistake. I could have paid £10 to get in, like over there somewhere, and I was like, that ain't worth it. Problem is that the guy said there's algae where the get-in point was over there, and I was like, I don't really want to swim through algae, so I guess we could pump the paddleboard up, go as far to the back of the lake as possible, because I'm about a third of the way down, which feels like cheating, and then start from where it seems safe. And I will just try my best not to drink water, because that would be bad.
Let's get going.
Stage 1 is about to commence. Okay. I'm actually quite excited about doing a medium distance swim. That combined with a paddle and a cycle, I think it's going to be pretty mega day. We've made it to the edge. Not quite the edge, but this'll do. And I have to swim all the way over there. I'm going to put my silly hat on. This is what proper swimmers do, right? They all have these silly little hats. Okay.
And you're off.
Just as the wind picks up, I'm gonna go. Start of the pre-op triathlon starts now. This is going to be very disappointing. I can just stand. Oh my god, it's so slimy. You know, it's like 2 foot of sludge.
Yeah. So we're about halfway across the lake right now, approaching the island, and Lucy's doing swimmingly. Pun fully intended. You okay, Lucy? She's not slowed down once and appears to still be in good spirits, so we'll see. We were quite nervous about this section, but honestly, I think she's smashing it, and we probably could have swum the next lake as well, although I think we're going to paddle it instead. Okay, stage support, we're going to head for the beach about there. So another 100 metres or so to go. Nice.
Bloody hell. Right. That's stage 1 over. Now for stage 2. I did it. I'm getting pretty cold now. 1 mile and 2 large cups of tea later, I've made it to the other side of Grasmere. Very grateful for my wetsuit because I actually got quite chilly halfway across. I'm alright now, even though it's like the middle of July. It's still not super warm. So we're now going to go intercept the car that Rob has dropped off in a lay-by, get changed into kayaking gear and shoot the Roffy all the way to Waterhead. It's going quite well so far. We'll catch you at the car.
We're back where we finished paddleboarding and or swimming probably an hour ago after we had our nice long lunch break. Part 2 commences.
The paddling section was the part I was most unsure about. There had been a distinct lack of meaningful rain recently, an unusual occurrence for the Lake District, and the river appeared to be somewhat on the shallow side. Do you reckon the river is like full enough that we won't have to portage, or?
My theory is that it's going to be amazing. It's going to be full of water the whole way. We won't get out a single time. We'll just shoot this lovely straight rapid of fast moving, exciting fun water.
And not even 1 minute later, as we suspected, it's a bit shallow. Literally only as deep as my hand.
Oh dear. Grinding over every single rock. Okay, well, maybe a spot on the shallow side. Limbo?
Our bad luck with river depth continued for the entire duration of the paddle from Grasmere to Rydal. At least 50% of the journey looked something like this, and the other 50% looked like this. A bit more begrudging dragging later, and Rob's unwavering optimism finally came true.
What do you reckon? Past this bit, are we shootable again?
A blissful section of paddleable water, and we popped out into Rydal, ready to continue following the river to Ambleside. What a view. Hopefully it will be a bit deeper than the last bit, because that was annoying. Spoiler alert, it was not. The next section started off much like the last, featuring a lot of low-hanging branches. Okay. reached. It's going to be more of the same, isn't it? Oh, bloody river! Despite my continued frustrations, it eventually became sort of paddleable. Sort of. And it was only near the very end of the river trip when things actually started to become fun. The next step was for Rob to collect the car, meaning another obligatory snack break for me.
And this is where we're going to leave Lucy for the next half an hour-ish. We're going back to the first stop of the day, which is the bikes. We didn't forget the keys, thank goodness.
Rob then returned a few minutes later.
15 minutes up and 10 minutes back again.
Nice. Now we have to get all of that on the roof.
So we've made it back to the car for the second time. We've swum a mile, we've canoed for 3 hours down 2 rivers and another lake, and now we're doing a cycle home is the plan.
To save Rob a job of putting my bike on the roof, he wants me to cycle to the next parking spot. So
There's continuity.
that's where I'm going.
There's been no car journeying the whole time other than me ferrying the car back and forth. And I've just done a 15-minute cycle to go and collect the car and bring it back here, so Lucy's down well cycling 5 minutes up the road.
I'll be right behind you.
Alright, the final leg of our miniature triathlon that hasn't actually felt that challenging for a triathlon, so maybe we didn't make it hard enough, but we're now on the track to Bowness via the ferry. There's Rob, and I think it should take about 2 hours to get home, but hopefully we'll be back before it gets too dark.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Last section, I'm feeling quite energised. I don't know about you, Lucy.
Yeah, I don't even feel that tired. My back hurts a bit, but other than that, I'm tired from kayaking, but I'm not cycling tired. As it happens, there is an alternative route. I think it's cycle route 6, which we had no idea existed and actually connects large areas of the Lake District all by bike and like footpath. And it just is this amazing forest trail that runs all the way beside Lake Windermere. So we get views like this on our way home.
The last ferry of the evening. The last ferry of the evening leaves in about 40 minutes at this point. But helpfully, they've put signs every so often with a number of kilometres left until you get to the ferry, all along the cycle route. So we know we're almost there. We get across the ferry, we got the second or third to last, which was a relief. And we're currently having dinner on the shores of Lake Windermere.
On the menu tonight, a Lucy special of tagliatelle and chicken in tomato sauce. And then I grabbed this leftover chili crunch stuff. So it should be quite tasty. I am looking forward to dinner.
It looks quite bright on the camera, but it's not. It's getting really dark. My phone's doing some AI magic. So we expect the sun to set in the next maybe 10 minutes. Eating dinner as fast as possible and getting going, hopefully to get back home before midnight.
Our cycle continued through the Cumbrian countryside in total darkness. And after 18 miles of riding, we arrived back home just after midnight. The final step of the trip was an exhausted drive to collect the car from the parking spot earlier.
14 hours in, and we're finally on the home straight.
And thus concluded a very long but very different kind of day. I'm really grateful we took the opportunity to do something different from our usual days out climbing. When I tore my ACL, needing surgery and being unable to climb for months was the worst outcome I could have imagined at the time. For me, climbing is more than just a sport. It's a way of challenging yourself, to feel accomplishment, meet new people and go on some grand adventures. Having this part of my life taken away from me so suddenly was really difficult to come to terms with. I wouldn't just be out for weeks, but for months, possibly even a year. But by reframing those negative thoughts, figuring out what I can still do, and finding alternatives has still led to a pretty grand adventure. After a long day of climbing, nothing is more satisfying in a climber's hallway than a crack full of gear. Since 2021, we have run an online climbing store. You can buy these keychains and more at Sgùrr.shop, link in the description.
Definitely wide enough. That's exactly what happened to me. I was like, I'll make it, I'll make it. And then bonk, I was like, oh. Apparently I won't make it.
Which is something that I've done literally hundreds and hundreds of times in the past. We do that over the years. I need to smile less. It's not funny.